history of the lighthouse system on the Gulf Coast. I have a book here, my number 14, Jafunta River Lighthouse. Its origin goes back to Mobile, back to when the Lemoyne brothers came in 1699, and at Ocean Springs put a rock there claiming the land for France. But anyway, then they picked up Mobile Bay, and 27 miles up there they established what was called Fort Lewis and Old Mobile. That was in 1702. And they had a lot of Canadians, trappers, fur trappers and traders that came down and settled with it. But in there, when I was doing the research, I came across, I don't know if we did this before, but we came across these maps. I think I got it off the internet. And I called up Mobile Bay and Lemoyne's, and on the maps, I put in research papers where we're Mobile Bay, Old Mobile, and New Mobile. But on these maps, I came across a map that was drawn by one of the men of the Bienville company. They drew Mobile Bay. I think it was around 1707 or 1710. But on there they put lighthouse, because entrance to Mobile Bay, it was shallow. They had sandbars all along. They had one channel where they had 15 feet, 6 meters. But anyway, if this map was printed in Paris in 1718, it took a year or two to draw it, and to get it over there and get it printed. So in my estimation, this goes back to one of the earliest lighthouses that was established on the Gulf Coast. And we did a story on it. Getting into it, the man who did the lighthouse, who established it on the orders of Bienville, was a man called Joseph Simon de la Pointe. And he, after doing he was living on Mobile, Dolphin Island, on the eastern end of it, and he put these lighthouses in. They were homemade, but when you call the system up, it could have been anything: whale sperm oil, or wax from myrtle trees, or beeswax. But anyway, I contacted the La Pointe Krebs house in Pascagoula, Mississippi, because after they moved down and established Mobile, and there was a hurricane in 1718, Joseph Simon La Pointe moved. He got a land grant in 1717 from the French government, and he moved over to Pascagoula. The Countess Chaumont was supposed to be his sister. I read that in one of the books. But anyway, he built this La Pointe house with a man. He started in 1730, and he started building it. One of his daughters married Hugo Krebs, and Hugo Krebs had a family that later moved over to New Orleans. Hugo moved over to New Orleans. He didn't want to be under the English domination, but he died. He moved over in 1773 and died in 1776. His widow kept living in New Orleans, and what was amazing was right after the American Revolution, people were starting to go across the lake and occupy the British land grants that were abandoned, especially on the Jafunta River. But anyway, she picks a land grant from the governor's Miro, And where did she pick it? She picked it at the mouth of the Tchefuncte River. A lot of people recently I was talking to were amazed because it's sand. We have pictures of it, shells and sand, and it's low ground that floods every time a storm comes in. But she said it had something in mind. Being the daughter of Hugo, and Hugo married the daughter of Joseph Simon de la Pointe, we're going back to the earliest lighthouse system on the Gulf Coast, and that's what our point is right now, to solve that. I contacted La Pointe Creb House in Pascagoula and talked to Dwayne Coates, who is the administrator, and he sent me 2 emails. The emails were the biography of Joseph Simon Lapointe explaining that he was in the light business back in France, and his father, Hubert Lapointe, was very close friends to the Lemoynes. They went to Canada and they made a lot of money in the fur business.